Hello, and welcome to another episode of Send It, where we're talking all the hottest topics in golf. This week, something very special. I'm wearing green for a reason because it's Masters Week. I have two very special guests that are going to help me talk about it. This week is Masters Week. That's why I'm wearing my green. And I've got Alex Maselli and Dan O'Neill here to talk about a fall Masters tournament that we have this year. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Beautiful day here in St. Louis.
Beautiful day up here too.
Okay, I'll let you start.
How is it that we both have beautiful days?
We have a beautiful day here too, but I'm stuck in a warehouse if you can't tell. So
it looks good.
Thanks. This year is the first Masters to ever be staged in the fall, also with no fans yet again. Who does the schedule change favor and who will it hurt?
You know, I think it's really kind of hard to say. They're actually going to have temperature-wise weather that this week that will be similar to what they would have in April. However, they're looking at some showers at least on Thursday and Friday. So that could play a factor, but I think it's really hard to say. You know, the course will play a little bit different. The wind will come from a slightly different direction, or in some cases, almost opposite direction. The golf course will be a little softer because they overseed, and that takes more moisture in the late in the year. So, you know, theoretically that would favor the longer hitters. On the other hand, if you look at the past few Masters, people always talk about long hitters like that. That's everything there, and it's really not. You know, the greens will be identical. They can have the greens exactly the way they want them with that sub-air system. And the greens are really a big deal. So, you know, if it's really soft and it rains a lot, certainly the big hitters will have, I think, a little bit of an advantage. But otherwise, I think you just have to see how it plays out.
I'll just echo what Danny said. Is that good enough or no?
It sounds like you normally would do.
No, you know, well, first of all, I will disagree with one thing. In the past, when it's been wet, you've seen some mutters win there, like Zach Johnson. He won there when it was a wet condition. So, you know, obviously you have to have the whole tire package when you play there to win there. But I keep hearing about this prodigiousness off the tee that Bryson DeChambeau has showed in practice rounds. Once with Sandy Lyle, he's out there today. We're filming this on a Monday, so everybody knows it'll show up on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure when. But Tiger and Bryson, and I think Dustin Johnson, I forget, but all these long guys got together and they went out and went off the 10th tee this morning. And I've already heard some reports about how far Bryson's hitting the ball then. So, you know, I think to me, it's a normal Masters, even though it's in the fall, because the temperatures are the same. So that's what Danny indicated. But I think what's different is that, you know, preparing for the Masters, you go through kind of a particular routine that you would have. You'd play so much in Florida, so much on the West Coast, kind of get yourself there, and then boom, you go. And in the past, you'd play the Houston Open because it was kind of condition-wise, it was working good. Even before that, we used to play in Atlanta. A lot of players would play in Atlanta because that seemed to be perfect conditions to get ready for Augusta. So now you're talking about, you played in Houston, completely different golf course than they played in the past. They played in the desert in Las Vegas. They played in California a couple of weeks ago. So it's not the same preparation. So that makes it a little different as well. But yet you keep hearing the same names. I mean, if you look at the odds, Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau, 10-1. You see Rory McIlroy, so forth and so on. The same guys that you always hear about. So I don't think any of this matters in regards to if we're playing in the fall or the summer or whatever the hell they're going to play it. I think what matters is you take the best guys. And right now, those guys are the guys like a Bryson DeChambeau, Dustin Johnson. Those are the guys that I think you'd really focus on no matter what the conditions are.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to watch how the long hitters do versus players like Zach Johnson, and also what it will be like without fans. Neither of you will be attending this year because there's so few credentials that are given out. Both of you have covered the Masters in person. What will you miss most?
Well, I can tell you what I'll miss most. I'll especially miss covering this Masters because I'll miss being able to go to the golf course without any traffic. I'll miss being able to stay right down the street, which I checked this morning, and I could get a room at the Fairfield Inn on Washington Avenue this week if I still needed to. I'll miss that. I mean, I'll miss, all of those things that you would normally have. I mean, this golf tournament is famous for being a tradition unlike any other, but this year it's going to be a tradition just like we've had in the past several weeks with no attendance. There'll be no explosions from Amen Corner, no people watching, which is always a good show. I'll miss not being able to go directly into the merchandise stand and be able to pick out something and buy something immediately instead of standing in line for a half hour. So those things are going to be different. I'll miss seeing Alex, which I would usually bump into him in the buffet line. So I'll miss that. But, I think, yeah, it's just going to be a really different Masters. So it's interesting to think about what you would miss, but what would be even more interesting would be to actually be there and see what it's like, because it's certainly going to be unlike any other Masters that I've seen anyway.
Yeah, I agree that I'd like to be there to see what it would be like, walking around the grounds without having any fans, and that you can actually see golf, because you can't see golf generally because you can't even get inside the ropes. But I think the thing that you miss too is that it's usually a place where you gather and talk to people you haven't seen for a year, because right around the tree is where you spend all your time. I mean, you can cover the golf tournament at any point, but you see all these people you haven't seen for a long time. So like, if it would have been Billy Casper, if it'd be the head of Callaway, whatever it is, you see all these people that you usually see. So you got to spend a lot of time with them. A lot of times the players come off of 18 or they come off of 9. They walk inside where the tree is, walk into the clubhouse, and you always get 5 or 10 minutes with these guys. And you really have better access at Augusta for that situation than you do at any other golf tournament. So, I mean, I'm going to miss that part of the equation. And I do miss, obviously, a lot of us journalists, some of us cover the tour a lot. Danny didn't cover as much as I did now. But you get, people you haven't seen for a while because they just don't cover golf that much. And Alexis, it's getting even worse and worse now, where maybe somebody's just going to cover the Masters and that's it for the year, or maybe a U.S. Open and a Masters. So, you get to see people, spend some time with people. So it's a kind of a gathering, which is really nice, which obviously we're not going to be doing this year.
Yeah, like a family reunion. Dan, did you notice he didn't say that he doesn't miss seeing you? Did you pick up on that?
About me. Yeah, I did pick up on that.
Okay.
He's copied everything I've said so far, and he says he doesn't miss me. So that hurts a little bit, but he's right about one thing. It is fun. The Masters in the spring is kind of like baseball spring training for golf. I mean, it's a new year. Everybody's full of promise and hope, and everybody gets to see each other that haven't seen them in a long time. And like Alex said, around the clubhouse and the tree there, big meeting place. So that is, I think anybody who's gone to the Masters and experienced that definitely misses it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm throwing in a last minute question for you guys. This year, they're not hosting the par 3 little mini tournament that they have at Augusta every year. If you could pick one person to be your caddy, who would it be for the par 3?
I'll let Alex go first.
Oh, one person would be my caddy. You mean, well, I would think I would pick Tiger because him and I don't have a very good relationship.
You would refuse, Alex.
It'd be quite comical watching him carry my bag around 9 holes, I think, and questioning everything I was doing, because I'm sure that would come up.
I think I would pick Donald Trump, and I'd let him keep the score,
Yeah.
So I think I'd have a really good chance of winning the tournament.
He just left his day job too, Danny, so you got a chance.
Not yet, Alex. We're still on the scorer's tent. Just hold on.
Oh, okay.
You could also
be the 68. This could be the 68 Masters all over again. Alex.
You're trying to pencil whip the election, are you?
Oh no. It's going to be the 68 Masters.
Guys, so much for coming on. I know it's a busy week for you all. I appreciate it. Hope everyone enjoys the Masters, and make sure to tune in for another episode next week on Send It.
Thanks, Alexis.
Thanks, Alexis.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, Danny.
See you, Alex.